Good morning. Welcome to episode 5 of Jewish Positive Parenting, Parents' Power. I hope you're having a lovely Hanukkah. I find the most difficult part of parenting is when I see the children do things wrong that they have learned from me. For example, if I hear one child telling off another child using my words, which weren't necessarily so kind, or even worse, when they use my reasoning to argue with me or throw me an example of when I did whatever I'm telling them not to do. A good example is when I tell them to get off the computer or the phone, and there have been many times when they're trying to talk to me and I'm on the computer or the phone. Our children learn the most from our own behaviour, but the fascinating thing is that they also learn from what we do, even when it was not in their presence. Who we are affects them more than the words we say, and our thoughts about them affect them too. I happen to be quite a see-through person. I'm not so good at lying, so my children know exactly what I think, even if I'm trying to say something nice. Ultimately, our children want to be accepted by us and want to live up to our expectations of them. When they look at us, they want to see that we're happy with them and proud of their actions. In last week's Parsha, Joseph had a really difficult test. His brothers hated him, decided to kill him, then threw him in a pit, changed their mind, and instead they sold him as a slave. Now here he was, alone in a foreign country, and he finally managed to make something of himself despite his really difficult circumstances. He was the head servant in Potiphar's house, and he had access to everything. Potiphar's wife wanted a relationship with this handsome Jewish slave, and every day she tried to seduce him. Every day he said no. But it was wearing him down, and on this day it was Paro's birthday, and the whole household was out celebrating. Only Potiphar's wife and Joseph were home. He was running out of stamina, and he was finally going to succumb to her wishes. Just then he saw an image of his father in his head. His father was showing him the breastplate of the high priest with 12 special stones on it that represented Jacob's 12 sons. He was meant to be one of those stones, one of the precious leaders of our Jewish people. He knew that if he succumbed now, he would lose his place in the family. His father's face was clear in his eyes, and he decided at that moment that he would do the right thing. He ran away from her, and she tore his coat. When we educate our children, we are giving them a goal and a vision. They see us as their role models and want to follow in our ways. But what image do they see? What is really important to us? The goal of Jewish education is to implant ideas that stay with them even when they're away from home, when they go to university or they go to school. When Devera was a baby, I went to a class on ethics. We learnt there about being a faithful person, and I had to practice every day making sure that I was honest and kept to my word. I didn't discuss this with her at all, but I worked on it so hard myself. Funnily enough, as she grew up, she was extremely honest and could not utter a lie. I discussed this with the teacher, and he explained that whatever we put inside ourselves will affect our children. You could choose one area of Judaism in which you feel connected. Find a Jewish book or a daily email. There's lots to choose from. You can message me and I can help you find them. And read each day for 2 minutes. This reading will change you, and ultimately it will affect your whole family too. Just like Joseph, we hope and pray that when our children are tested, they will see an image of our own faces, and that image will help them to make the right decisions. Enjoy the rest of Hanukkah.